What up, witches? It's time for another altar tour. I know I'm a little late on my fall altar. I usually change this particular altar out with the equinoxes and the solstices. This is the one that's a little bit more ornamental than my other one, the one that I usually work with. But this is the one that just changes out with the seasons. And like I said, it's a little bit more ornamental. So there's things that just represent the season on each one. But I just like to change it up, switch it up a little bit, not too much, because I did add some more plants and they've kind of taken over. So we're just going to start with the top left triangle, because as you can see, it's separated into sections. So we'll start with the top left triangle and see what's inside of there. Okay, so the top left triangle always has this little, it was a necklace at one point, but now it's just a painted stone that hangs in this triangle, and I have one in the other triangle as well. And in this one, I just added this cute little shiny pumpkin that I like to throw in there sometimes around the harvest. And then this one is new that I bought. I think it's like a cactus, but I thought it was really cute. And just, I thought it looked like a harvest, so I put it in there. Maybe because it's kind of shaped like a squash or something. I thought it was cute. And then I have my Palo Alto stick for whenever I feel like I just need to cleanse. I like to keep it there so that I can grab it if I ever need it. My aloe plant that is holding on. It is the only succulent I have been able to keep alive for this long. Plants I'm fine with, but when it comes to succulents, they just tend to die on me, and this one's holding on. This little baby I'm keeping it alive. And then on the bottom of that, I just have this little offering platter. But right now it has this pyramid quartz inside of it that my sister actually bought me for my birthday last year. And so, and just one of my cat's claws that I found, I just threw it in the pot too. So yeah, that is what is in this top left triangle. Moving on to the middle triangle, I'm sure you guys have all seen this before. This has been in my altar for a couple of months now, more than a couple of months. I've just been keeping it in there. Currently, I still like it in there, so I'm going to leave it in there. This is my home protection sigil that I eventually turned into this stick sigil, and I just keep it in the top large downward facing triangle. It fit perfectly. This wasn't intentional, but once I brought it home and I saw it, I said, oh, this has got to go in there. And I thought it fit very well. Now, before we move on to the right upper triangle, I just want to talk about the two brooms that I added. Those are new. I just added those for the season. I thought they really fit well with the fall season. They are nailed up there, so if I ever need to do any sweeping with them, I can't. But I do have that little one that I can just grab if I actually need to like do some energy clearing. I'll grab that little one. These, like I said, are just more ornamental because this is my more ornamental altar and more representative and less like for daily use. I have another altar for that. This is just the more decorative ornamental one that's more like symbolizing, whatever. That's what these are for. Moving on to the top right triangle, I have another one of these painted rocks that are in there. I used to sell those at some point. I stopped. Every once in a while, if someone does a pretty big order, I'll throw them in as a freebie in my Etsy shop. Not these, but other ones that I have, just because I stopped selling them, but I do still have a bunch of them. So every once in a while, I throw them in as a freebie because I really like them. I don't plan on making any more, but I really like these necklaces. Anyways. Below the necklace, like I said, the plants have taken over. But yeah, this is another plant that I keep in here. I do really like the plants on the altar. I think they look really nice. I think they bring good energy. And I think they cleanse the place pretty well. So keeping that in there. As you guys know, I like balance. Clearly, you can see it on my altar that I like balance. So in addition to the shiny pumpkin that I have in the other triangle, I have a shiny one here. And that little succulent thing that I have, the little succulent sculpture that I have in the other triangle, this is its balance mate. And this one is a mushroom. And I really love mushrooms. Whenever I go on hikes, I love to find them and look at them and point them out and take pictures of them. This is another little broom that I have, a little besom that I have. If I ever need to do any like energy clearing as well, but this one's kind of tiny, so I would probably go for that one. And then I just have this piece of birch. Like I said, this birch I've had before. I've shown in other videos. This was going to go in the garbage. And I was like, are you guys crazy? You're going to throw out a piece of perfectly good birch? So I brought it home and put it on my altar. And so in addition to the offering plate, I have that one that has the quartz pyramid in it. This one is just empty right now. Usually I have a feather in there, but I think my cats might have stolen it. And this is what the triangle looks like. Moving on to the bottom shelf, I'm just going to do a quick sweep. I have this bottom shelf along all the triangles in the top. So that's what it's looking like. And we'll just start over here since I'm over here. I have this plant that I added spring, I want to say. I added this to my altar in the spring because I wanted more plants in the spring. And it has since taken over a lot. You can't even see my singing bowl. I do still use the singing bowl though. I just kind of move these branches out of the way. I'm like, excuse me, ma'am. And I just like set them on the couch below so that I can get to my bowl. Eventually I am probably going to have to hang that up. I already have the hook in place from another plant that I had up there, but that I moved to the kitchen, but I have the hook in place. So eventually this lady is going to have to go up there because she's taking up a lot of room. But for right now, she's just here on the edge. Sometimes she likes to like fan her leaves down here on the couch. But for now, she's up here on top of my Tibetan singing bowl, which is next. And you can't even see my jar of rocks that I found that the earth wanted me to have. Sometimes I walk by things and I'm like, I've got to go pick that up. And so when I do that, I just stick them in here. I have another one on that side. It's getting kind of full though. I might need to get a bigger container for those, but yeah, that's what's in there. And this one is just a little crystal that I mined for one day. I thought it was citrine, but the more research that I did, I'm pretty sure it's just like heat treated quartz, which makes sense because I got it out of a dynamite hole. So that makes sense that it was just quartz that got heated to this color. All right, so next to that, I do have my pink Himalayan salt tea light holder. And that is just on these candle holders. And then next to that, the plants have taken over. Like I said, this is my thirsty boy. He's very, very thirsty all the time. He's thirsty right now. I got to give him some water. And then I did used to sell these things in my shop, but I stopped selling those as well. These painted bottles. Now they just decorate my altar. I've changed them out. I have a bunch of them, so I changed them out with the seasons. Obviously, I wanted to go with a color scheme that's more, what's the word I'm looking for? That goes with this season. I can't think of the word. And then I just have my crystal. I have my amethyst. I have this other tea light holder that I just thought was nice. And I wanted to put it on here because I like the geometric patterns in it. And I was thinking about painting some sacred geometry and hanging up a little disc right there. But I decided against it. But it would have nicely balanced because it would have been this geometry thing, sacred geometry, and then that geometry thing, which would have formed a nice little triangle, especially because it's underneath that triangle. But whatever, I ended up not doing it. This is my centerpiece for this altar. So I just have some gourds and some pumpkins on here. I thought it was very fitting for the season. Another piece of quartz because I like the balance. Another bottle because I like the balance. Another one of those because I like the balance. The other plant because I like the balance. And another quartz, crystal. Not quartz, I'm sorry. Himalayan salt because I like the balance. This is just because my offering plates are kind of full. This is just another offering jar for whatever things I feel like I need to put in there. It's empty right now because this is new and I just brought it over here. But I saw it and I was like, I have to have that. I just have a candle snuffer out there. And this is what the other jar on the other side looks like if it wasn't covered by the plant. But this is what it looks like. Sometimes I have fortunes that I find that I like and I just stick them in there. This is an old dried out flower. This is real, but it's an old dried out flower that I enjoy the way it dried. So I've kept that on my altar for years now and it's just become a part of the altar. I also mined for this bad boy when I climbed the mountain. So put that one on my altar and then another plant because they're taking over my life. As you guys know, I do like to put art on my altar and I change it out with every season. I figured pumpkin was fitting for this. All the art that I put on my altar is my own, with the exception of the first altar video I did. I did have someone else's art on here, but ever since then, it's all been my own. This is my pumpkin plant witch. I'm sorry. This is my plant witch print And then this one is called Water Friends 4. And I just thought it was very fitting for the season. And here's another overview of the whole entire altar. And like I said, again, this one is used for much more just ornamental purposes, just bringing in the season, keeping the season in here. Obviously some protection and energy clearing and offerings and whatnot, because it is an altar. So, I do have those things on there. But in general, this is not the one that I work with daily. So my manifestation box, my affirmation cards, anything like that, none of that is going to be on this altar. That's on my other altar. But for this one, I do enjoy changing it out. I do enjoy showing you guys the changes that I make for them every season. I didn't change it out for summer. This summer has just been a lot. I know we've all felt it. It has been a lot going on, and I was not feeling it. I couldn't change it out. I don't like to force myself to do things like that, because then I feel like the energy is going to be all off on the altar. But anyways, this is my fall altar. Enjoy, you guys.